This story that's also developing, we were watching for you a short while ago on your screens. You saw that small box there at the bottom right. It is about the Putco bus drivers' unprotected strike that's seeing no end at the moment, taking place at New Canada in Soweto. That's despite the drivers having been issued with letters of dismissal by the employer. At least 1,000 Putco employees are facing being fired after they embarked on a wildcat strike last week, demanding a 6% wage increase. The strike has left commuters stranded, forcing them to make alternative travel arrangements. Our reporter Nqobile Madlala is on the ground. Just a short while ago, we saw more tires being bent at the main entrance to the complex, to the depot of Putco there, and a vehicle apparently being driven by managers trying to leave. It was prevented from leaving. What is the latest, Nqobile, that you can tell us now? What is happening right now?
Well, Bredan, we are seeing more tires, of course, on the ground being burnt, and it seems the gentleman that was in front of that car is just right here with me. Let me speak to him quickly. Babu buwenza lapha emotweni.
Uputco Strike. Serious Uputco Strike ngoba.
Baba asikade nje ulimi lethu. Ubaba ubenza lapha emotweni.
Into siyami ukubese emontweni bengifisa ukuvimba unxusa ukuthi engaphumi yona imanager yasePutco bengifisa ukuthi sivimbe ingaphumi lana ngoba iyona ephethe imali yethu le manager la okuthiwa unxusa iyona ephethe imali yethu.
Okay, manje sekuzokwenzakalani ke baba njengokunje?
Sizohlala nje la kuze kushona ilanga. Sizohlala kuze kushona ilanga. Ngifuna ukumbona unxusa uzophuma phi ngoba uyena owana nemali yethu. Usiphucele kunemali okuthiwa iPretover. Abasebenza bayazi lonto okuthiwa iPretover. Kodwa unxusa uyayazi usiphucele iPretover ama overtime lonto. Wayithatha unxusa yonke lo mali. So njengamanje silinde nje unxusa ukuthi sifuna ukubona uzophuma phi.
Igama lakho unxusa baba?
Unxusa isibongo sakhe. Angilazi igama uAlfred igama lakhe.
Well, Bredan, as you can hear there from that gentleman that we saw that was in front of the car trying to push it back into the facilities, he's saying that they are basically waiting for the manager who he refers to as Musa. He's saying that this is the manager that has their money and they want their money back. Now, you remember, Bredan, that this money we are talking about is the bonuses, but it's not only just the bonuses, Bredan, it's the 6% increase that they had asked for. We understand that Putco had given them 3% and of course got even exemption to say that they don't have enough money due to the fact that there was COVID. But the drivers are saying at this point that if they are getting rid of them, then they might as well pay them back their money. And this is the case then, Bredan. You will see that also as Via passes by here, they tend to also have whistles and all sort of things. This is somehow in collaboration and just sort of showing some form of solidarity. But they are stopping here now. We have seen some of the security guards inside also just getting ready, just standing in front of the gate. But it doesn't look like they are going to be doing anything at this point. We've seen more police also coming in. We are understanding as we hear that more police officers are going to come to the scene. They've been calling them at this point, but of course the police don't have a spokesperson on the ground to speak to us. But then just to remind you, the area that we are in, this is a place where they basically fix their Putco buses. We understand that there are people that come here as mechanics, but also this is the area where people buy their tickets. Earlier on, we saw passengers that came in saying that they are looking for their money as they have spent so much money now on the taxis. So we saw them coming in and speaking to Nqobile, who was just looking in terms of what would be the way forward. And we heard from him as well, saying that the passengers are going to be looked after, that they're trying to come up with more ways to deal with such issues. But we do know that some of these drivers have been in this place for quite some time, and the issue more than anything is that the pay has not been that great. So I want to come in now, Bradan. You'll note that Nqobile is currently in an interview, so I'm going to put in our mic so we can hear what he's saying as a response.
Say that we need to serve those people. So for now, the process is, like I said earlier on, it's a matter of just making sure that we finish the process, and then police will help us. They are trying to block some of these workers from leaving to go home, but I can tell you that as far as things stand, the police will help us in that regard, as well as some of the security personnel that you see inside.
All right, and in terms of the company's sustainability, is this only the beginning of such restructuring processes, or is this a turnaround where we'll see some stability and perhaps even a turnaround in fortunes where in the future you could rehire or extend and increase your staff complement? What is the way forward?
Well, the way forward is, first of all, to have this review in terms of saying who is still with the company, who's not with the company. That's the way forward. After that, the company will formulate a strategy in terms of moving forward to say that what we are actually going to do is to try and make sure we return our services to normalcy. So, but the first and foremost thing that we need to do is to tally up, understand who is with the company, and from that point on, we'll know exactly what we need as far as our services are concerned, and then we'll be announcing some of those programs to say that this is what we need to get back to normalcy.
If I may just come in there, also I just want to find out, I mean, we saw the drivers pushing in one of the management going inside. In terms of safety, what does this mean now? Are they going to be inside the whole night? What is the way forward?
There's no way they are going to be inside the whole night. Police are here, the security personnel are here. I'm sure that as we speak, they are trying to formulate an answer in terms of how to get these people safely outside here, because even earlier on, they were required to actually help them give safe passage so that they can go inside. So I can certainly tell you that as many times as this has happened, we know that these workers will be going home. No one will be sleeping at a business unit or a depot. But it's a matter of law enforcement at this stage. They understand their strategies in terms of how to deal with this situation. We've seen many protests taking place, and we've seen police respond swiftly in terms of how to deal with such situations. So we're hoping that police will come to the party as far as upholding the law is concerned, because it's illegal to hold someone against their will inside such an establishment, especially after they've finished with their daily duties.
Talking about those daily duties, Nqobile, what does this mean now for your daily duties in terms of taking passengers on a daily basis? Because the drivers have made it clear that they're not going to leave. What happens tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow is the final phase of this process we've embarked on. Remember that we issued these dismissal notices to say that the company intends to dismiss some of these workers. But tomorrow is simply the reviewing of all of the things that have been submitted, and thereafter termination letters will be issued out. That's the long and short of the process. In terms of the safety of our workers, the company is looking at its internal security, but police are also here. Earlier on, I was here. They were explaining to some of the workers that are striking that what they are doing would certainly not be illegal as far as when the company has concluded with its processes. So what we are expecting is for law and order to take its course in terms of some of these things that we are seeing, because from the get-go we've explained that this is an illegal strike, and what you are seeing right now is still that illegal undertaking. But we are hoping it's a lawful country. We know that the laws of the country are what governs us as companies, as individuals, and we are hoping that that will prevail.
And what are we going to see? Because we know that quite a number of people, you said, have started sending in those appeals of dismissal. How many people roughly do you think we are going to see having their work terminated, or is it going to be terminated today at all or in the morning?
Look, we did make it clear that it's approximately 1,000 workers that have been issued with a notice of the company's intent to dismiss them, and we are positively welcoming the fact that many workers are sending emails as far as their representations are concerned in terms of why they should not be fired. But in terms of who will lose their job, how many will lose their jobs, it's a matter that is subject to this particular process. When we tally up those things, when we do the reviews, we'll certainly come out and say that these are the number of employees that have been dismissed because of the fact that we've considered the representations and everything else that is within the processes of the company.
Lendoguhle from Putco, speaking to us about those issues. But Dan, as you can hear, that he's saying that the process is still ongoing at this point, but he's saying that the police will intervene surely, as well as security. But this is what's happening currently behind me. As you can see, more tires are coming in, more workers. You can just see the energy now picking up. They've already completely blocked the road going out of these facilities. Of course, we will be on the ground just checking what happens now as everything unfolds.
Thank you very much, Nqobile Madlala. Of course, we will stay close to that story as you are on the ground, and any developments will take them live here. Now, let's